It was a Tuesday evening in late October, the kind of night when the air carries the first sharp bite of winter, promising snow that won't yet fall. A lone car, a silver sedan, pulled off the desolate stretch of Highway 17 and into the dimly lit parking lot of the Whispering Pines Motel. The Whispering Pines wasn't much to look at. A two-story structure of faded brick and peeling paint, it stood sentinel over a stretch of road that saw more deer than people after dark. Its neon sign, flickering erratically, promised vacancy to anyone desperate enough to believe it. Inside, the lobby was quiet, the only sound the low hum of an ancient soda machine and the rustle of a tired clerk turning pages. A woman, slender and unremarkable, stepped up to the counter. Her name, she stated calmly, was Eleanor Vance. She was traveling through, she said, and needed a room for just one night. She paid cash, politely declined breakfast, and took the key to room 104. The clerk, a man named Arthur Finch, remembered her as quiet, polite, with eyes that seemed a little too tired for someone just beginning a journey. He watched her retrieve a small, worn suitcase from her trunk, lock her car, and disappear down the exterior corridor leading to room 104. That was the last confirmed sighting of Eleanor Vance. The next morning, the motel went about its usual slow rhythm. Arthur, starting his shift, noticed the silver sedan still in the parking lot. A little unusual, perhaps, but not unheard of. Guests sometimes slept in or decided to stay an extra day. He made a mental note to call room 104 around noon if he hadn't seen her. Noon came and went. The sedan remained. Arthur called room 104. No answer. He called again a few minutes later, letting it ring more persistently this time. Still nothing. A flicker of unease began to stir. Guests sometimes checked out early without telling anyone, but they almost always left their keycard at the front desk, or simply left the room door ajar. And the car was still there. By 1 p.m., Arthur's unease had sharpened into a genuine concern. He radioed Maria, the head of housekeeping. "Maria, can you check on room 104? Looks like someone's still in there, but they're not answering the phone." Maria, a woman who had seen everything in her 20 years of cleaning motel rooms, approached room 104 with a practiced knock. "Housekeeping," she called out, waiting. No response. She knocked again, louder. Silence. Using her master key, she pushed the door open, a sliver at first, then fully. The room was dark, the curtains drawn. She flipped the light switch. The room was empty. Utterly, completely empty. The bed was made, the sheets crisp and undisturbed, as if no one had slept there at all. The small table by the window held nothing but a remote control. The bathroom was spotless, the complimentary soaps and miniature shampoo bottles still sealed in their plastic. Maria checked the closet. Empty. The drawers. Empty. Eleanor Vance's small, worn suitcase was nowhere to be found, but the car, the silver sedan, was still in the parking lot. The room was a perfect, silent tableau, a scene meticulously untouched, almost as if it had been waiting. Arthur was immediately contacted. He rushed to room 104, his heart thudding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. He stood in the doorway, staring at the pristine, empty room. It was baffling. Guests sometimes left a mess, sometimes left things behind, sometimes left in a hurry, but to simply vanish, leaving no trace within the room itself, yet leaving their vehicle behind. It was unprecedented. The local sheriff's department was called. Deputy Miller arrived, a man whose weary eyes had seen their share of highway oddities. He walked through room 104, his boots silent on the thin carpet. He checked the windows, latched from the inside, no signs of tampering. He checked the door, no forced entry, the lock functioning perfectly. He noted the undisturbed bed, the pristine bathroom. Outside, other deputies processed the silver sedan. It was locked. Inside, they found nothing suspicious. No notes, No signs of a struggle, no blood. Eleanor Vance's purse was on the passenger seat, containing her driver's license, a credit card, and a modest amount of cash. Her cell phone was also there, fully charged, nestled in a cup holder. It had no missed calls, no recent outgoing calls, no unread messages. It was as if she had simply walked away from it all, leaving everything behind, including her means of travel and communication. They reviewed the motel's sparse security footage. It showed Eleanor Vance checking in, walking down the corridor to room 104, and entering it. The camera, positioned at the corner of the building, covered the main entrance and the first section of the corridor. It showed no one else approaching or leaving room 104 after her. It showed no one carrying Eleanor Vance out, no one forcing her into another vehicle. No struggle, no forced entry, no sign of departure, just an absence. The footage ended at dawn, when a power surge caused a brief interruption, but by then, Eleanor Vance was already gone. The investigation became a quiet whirlwind of confusion. Local authorities contacted state police. Missing person reports were filed. Eleanor Vance's family, located in a neighboring state, confirmed her identity. They described her as a private, dependable woman who lived a quiet life. She had no known enemies, no history of mental illness, no reason to simply vanish. She had told them she was visiting a distant cousin, a story that the cousin later confirmed was true, though Eleanor had not yet arrived at her destination. Investigators scoured the immediate area around the Whispering Pines motel. They walked the tree line bordering the highway, searched the ditches, and even dragged the small, murky pond behind the property. Nothing. No discarded clothing, no footprints leading into the woods, no sign of a struggle, no indication of where Eleanor Vance could have gone, or how. The theories began to accumulate, each more perplexing than the last. Was it a planned disappearance? But why leave her car, her purse, her phone? Why make a show of checking into a motel for one night, only to abandon everything within hours? If she wanted to disappear, she could have done so far more discreetly, far more effectively. Was it foul play? But if so, how? And by whom? There was no evidence of another person entering or leaving room 104. No signs of a struggle, no witnesses, no blood, no DNA, no disturbed items. It was as if she had been lifted clean from the room, leaving no physical trace of her departure or any struggle. Some speculated about a secret rendezvous, a hidden exit, but the windows were latched, the door secured. The only way out was through the hallway, past the camera's limited view, or through the window, which showed no signs of being used. Could someone have waited inside the room? Unlikely, given the pristine state of the bed and bathroom, and the fact that she checked in alone. Years have passed since Eleanor Vance checked into room 104 of the Whispering Pines motel. The silver sedan was eventually impounded, then sold. The motel, now even more dilapidated, still stands. Room 104 has been cleaned countless times, new guests sleeping in the same bed that Eleanor Vance never touched. But the mystery lingers, a cold, unsettling silence in the heart of a forgotten highway. No one ever saw Eleanor Vance leave. There was no evidence she was taken, no indication she ever planned to abandon her life. It was as if Eleanor Vance had simply ceased to be within the confines of four walls, under the gaze of a lonely highway. Her disappearance remains an open wound, a perfect, impossible vanishing act. The question persists: what happened to Eleanor Vance in room 104?